AC Milan generated more than double Napoli's expected goals in the first half and still lost. That is the story of this match. By the 45-minute mark, Milan had accumulated 0.626 xG to Napoli's 0.307, controlling the early rhythm and creating the cleaner opportunities. And yet, when the final whistle blew, it was Napoli who walked away with 3 points courtesy of a Matteo Politano strike in the 78th minute. This result did not happen by accident. It was built on a tactical shift that unfolded across 90 minutes, and the numbers tell every chapter of that story. Heading into this fixture, both sides arrived in credible form. Napoli had won 4 consecutive Serie A matches against Verona, Torino, Lecce, and Cagliari, and were firmly in the race at the top of the table. Milan's recent run was slightly more mixed. A loss to Lazio, punctuating wins over Inter and Torino, but they had shown enough quality to come into this one with genuine confidence. The head-to-head record added further intrigue. Of the last 4 meetings before today, the spoils had been split exactly 2 apiece, and both teams had won at each other's ground in that period. No clear favorite, no obvious narrative, just 2 well-drilled sides meeting at a pivotal stage of the season. On the tactical blueprint, Antonio Conte's Napoli deployed a 3-4-2-1, a system built around width, verticality from the wingbacks, and a compact midfield pivot designed to both protect and distribute. The 3-man backline allowed the wingbacks to push high and create overloads in wider channels, while a double pivot in the center provided stability when pressing and tempo when building. The 2 attacking midfielders behind the striker gave Napoli numerical superiority in the half spaces, meaning the final third could be attacked from multiple angles. Milan lined up in a 3-5-2, mirroring the back 3, but opting for a more expansive midfield 5, a shape designed to dominate the center of the pitch and use the width of their wingbacks to stretch defenses. With 2 strikers up top, the intention was clear: pin Napoli's back 3 and exploit second balls in the final third. The early signs suggested Milan's plan was working. Their PPDA passes allowed per defensive action came in at 23.47 compared to Napoli's 28.20. The lower the number, the more aggressively a team presses, and Milan's figure indicates they were far more proactive in hunting the ball high up the pitch in the opening phase. That pressing intensity created problems for Napoli's build-up and contributed to Milan's superior XG in the first half. But here is the critical context. PPDA measures press intensity, not press effectiveness, and Napoli's own metrics suggest they were willing to absorb that pressure and remain patient. Their 8 interceptions against Milan's 9 tells you both sides were winning the ball, but what each team did with it differed dramatically between the 2 halves. Look at the progressive pass breakdown and you immediately understand the structural issue for both teams. Napoli completed 80 progressive passes, but 61 of those, more than 3/4, stalled in the midfield zone. Only 9 broke into the box. Milan also totaled 80 progressive passes, but their midfield stall figure was even more pronounced. 73 of 80 passes went nowhere near the final third, and crucially, 0 not 1 broke into the box from open play. That is a staggering figure. It tells you that despite Milan's pressing aggression in the first half, their ability to translate possession into box-level threat through open play was essentially non-existent. Which brings us to where Milan's actual danger came from: dead ball situations. Milan generated 0.603 xG from just 4 set-piece shots. That is nearly 3/4 of their entire xG output coming from dead balls. Napoli, by contrast, generated 0.15 xG from 3 set-piece shots. When you strip away the set pieces, Milan's open play threat becomes remarkably thin, and the illusion of first-half dominance starts to crack. The XG timeline makes the momentum shift visually undeniable. By the 15-minute mark, Milan had already accumulated 0.544 xG, while Napoli sat at 0, a fast, aggressive start driven almost entirely by those set-piece situations. Napoli began to grow into the game, reaching 0.307 xG by halftime, but Milan still led that metric at 0.626. Then the second half happened. From the 45th minute onward, Napoli generated 0.565 xG against Milan's 0.135. That is a complete reversal of the game's momentum. Possession swung too. Napoli held 55.7% in the first half and just 48.9% in the second, suggesting that rather than dominating the ball, they became more direct, more vertical, more dangerous. Milan's press lost its edge, their shape became stretched, and Napoli's wingbacks began to find the space they had been denied earlier. 3 high turnovers in the final third for Napoli compared to just 1 for Milan confirms the press trap was being sprung in Milan's half, not Napoli's, as the game wore on. Matteo Politano entered the pitch in the 74th minute, and 4 minutes later, he scored the only goal of the match. His introduction was not the sole cause of Napoli's second-half dominance. That shift had already begun well before the hour mark, but the timing of that goal, arriving precisely as Milan were trying to find a response through their own substitutions, was decisive. Milan's changes at 62 and 63 minutes had actually coincided with a further drop in their XG production post-substitution. Christian Pulisic came on at 74 minutes, with Milan's cumulative XG already plateaued at 0.636, and after those changes, their total added just 0.175 more. The pattern is consistent across every Milan substitution. The numbers moved in the wrong direction. Whether that reflects the quality of the personnel introduced or the state of the game by that point is a fair debate, but the data is unambiguous. In the player lens, the XG chain figures reveal who was quietly pulling the strings for Napoli. Matheus Oliveira led the side with an XG chain of 0.273, his involvement in build-up sequences underpinned by a strong XG build-up of 0.137 and an XA of 0.084, a wing-back functioning as a genuine creative outlet on the left. Leonardo Spinazzola mirrored that contribution on the other flank, posting an XG chain of 0.266 and the match's highest XG buildup at 0.188, a relentless presence in transition who stretched Milan's defensive structure throughout the second half. Stanislav Lobotka, the orchestrating pivot, registered an XG chain of 0.214 and a remarkable XA of 0.158, the invisible engine in midfield, recycling possession and threading the passes that others converted into danger. Miguel Gutierrez posted an identical XG chain of 0.214, his entire contribution coming through build-up rather than direct chance creation, and the forward Giovanni contributed an XG chain of 0.192 with an XG of 0.136, evidence that Napoli's striker was getting into the right positions, even if the goals were not coming from him on the night. So what does this result mean? In the context of a tight Serie A title race, Napoli's ability to win a game they trailed on XG for more than an hour tells you something important about their tactical maturity. They absorbed pressure, made decisive adjustments in the second half, and converted a single chance at a crucial moment. Milan, by contrast, exposed a significant structural flaw, an almost total dependency on set pieces for genuine goal threat, with 0 box entries from open play in their progressive pass data. That is not a one-game anomaly you can ignore. For Napoli, 4 wins from their last 4 league matches cements their status as genuine title contenders. For Milan, the questions are harder. The second half collapse in XG generation and the inability to respond once behind suggests a squad that may struggle to shift momentum when a game moves against them. Here's the question worth debating in the comments. Given that Milan generated 0 open play box entries in their progressive pass data, was their 3-5-2 ever going to unlock Napoli's back 3? Or were they always one set piece away from a goalless night? Hit subscribe, new football stories every day.